Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We're here in Lumen. I don't think we have anything to drop off here. Yeah, just double check. Sometimes you... How did we get... Where did you come from? We'll have to sell that to Garrick when we get to Torzeg Shelter. We have 25 days worth of supplies, which is mind-boggling. Let's get our 3 fighters back that... 4 fighters, oops. And then we have to replace the one guy who got kidnapped by a group that I killed. Did he get kidnapped and then just like tied up and we just left him there out in the desert? Truly mind-boggling to imagine. I was kind of thinking we should probably see if we can upgrade Javik. We can't. Okay, so we need to get him further along before he gets better at spells. But we should visit Shebeni before we go talk to the Dread Reavers here. So, you find Shebeni in her inner laboratory. Let us start with the Nexus Naritas. Do we have... Well, yes! Record your stuff. Fantastic. Do we have anything else to record? Nope, just the one. We're working on it, though. I've been buying those books from the book guy, and those have been filling out the codex, so that's kind of nice. Pristine memory crystal. Oh, wrong. Sorry. The rare memory crystal. We have the waylaid warlock. We've already experienced all of these, right? Yes. All right. Sorry, I lied. I want to talk to you about Javik, though. Yes. Ask Shebeni if she can help Javik better understand his telepathic abilities. The Tarkian's curious tale of his mind and its evolutions grasped the Crystalmancer's attention. A raised eyebrow belies her interest, as well as what seems like the beginnings of a plan. I might be able to help, she says in a low voice when the tale is told. To do so, we'd need to imprint the memory of this event that occurred in Valensteel on a memory crystal so that we can view and analyze it. She pauses. It's just as well that I have one, but the bad news. They're hard to create and require a rare crystal from raw material. Not cheap at all. I'm afraid the one that I have spare is not perfect either. Not like a pristine memory crystal, but I think it'll do just fine. And theoretically, Javik responds, what could we learn from such a venture? It's not for me to say, Shebeni declares. Whatever happened, whatever stored in your memory, will become clearer and viewable, even if currently there are obscure parts of it in your mind. I must admit it is an exhausting ritual, but if you want to delve into that mind of yours, it may be the best way. Javik's thumb drifts to his chin, then the other to pouch tied at his hip. Let's begin, he says at length. Shebeni nods enthusiastically, pocking a fair chunk of the Tarkian silver before she gestures to a nearby chair. Javik eyes it with growing trepidation before swallowing whatever concerns he has to sit down. Please concentrate on the memory you wish to record, she says matter-of-factly, then busies herself with a series of incantations and spells, while preparing a fist-sized pale blue crystal that was carefully carved into a star-like shape. Javik's brow furrows and his face becomes a visage of discomfort. Whatever memory he is dredging up, it is not a pleasant one. Time passes slowly. After a while, you notice that Javik has entered a kind of meditative tranquility, and at length, though no more than half an hour, Shebeni has finished the incantations required for the recording. The Crystalmancer raises her hands widely in anticipation of her final spell, and then silence settles. The Tarkian opens his eyes with a rested expression, while Shebeni looks worse for wear. The ritual seems to have drained her significantly. Can we have a look now? Javik says kindly. She nods, managing a wary smile. Shebeni relocates the memory crystal, placing it in a receptacle above which her right palm hovers. Javik closes his eyes again. Then the Crystalmancer utters a series of words, beginning a new incantation. You watch with anticipation as the sorcerer begins to enter some kind of trance. At first, his features are tranquil under a modicum of a struggle. A twitch breaks through. Moments later, it grows darker and more strained. Then comes the pain. Javik convulses wildly at the next moment until his eyes burst open, his visage now consumed by dread. He stands and shakes his head, and you see the sorcerer visibly shudder and shiver. In the uncomfortable silence that follows the aftermath, you ask him what he saw, if for no other reason than to simply check on that he is okay. Luminescent humanoid figures, pale blue and dreadful, their faces drawn like the dead of yore, my mind as it was all those years ago, locked and helpless against something they did to me. I felt it open, like it did back then, until what? Shebeni asked softly, a desperate, curious plea in her eyes. Take it slow, my friend. I can see that the memory is a heavy one. The pain, Javik says, sighing. All memory past that point was lost. All I felt was agony, sheer agony, overwhelming me, keeping me from seeing more. He shakes his head sternly. I don't know what it all means, Vagrus. He turns to Shebeni. Thank you for this. You couldn't have known. Please, Vagrus, let's head back to the Comitatus. I need some time to gather my thoughts. The Crystalmancer merely shoots a glance that seems to say, I understand, before you agreed to the Tarkian's request to leave. And she nods, bidding the two of you farewell. Javik even leaves the memory crystal in her keeping, vowing never to look back at that moment if he can help it. You return to the Comitatus alongside a visibly shaken Javik. His eyes are grim and distant. All right. Well, that's good. Do we have to keep talking with sorcerers? I was kind of thinking it would have been nice if our friend who got eaten by the old one, what was her name? I'm blanking. It's been so long since I've done that quest. It was the lady I was doing the Miss Piggy voice for. I can't remember her name. I feel bad. But if she had been around, she would have been a good sorcerer to talk to. Anyway, let's see. Let's go talk to the Dread Reavers. That was the whole reason we came here. First things first, though, we'll rest up. Get some of our stats back. And now, let's go to the Blind Chakra, talk to the Dread Reavers, have the Reavers join your Comitatus. You are ready to take them to the Calaris Valley.
Jolly good.
Lagdanar grins and slaps you on the shoulder.
I'll rouse the Reavers. We'll be ready to depart in minutes.
True to his word, the mercenary captain gathers his company, and they join you right away.
Now, our heading is north-northeast into Calaris Valley,
he says enthusiastically.
We should find our guide in that valley. She knows where to go exactly inside the Crystal Forest itself.
Time to find the guide. Away. 18 days worth of food. Not a problem. So into the valley here on the northern side. Okay. If things go to hell, we could always bail out and try to get to Arcane the other way. Get some vigor back. I think we want to go into the valley. Yes. So we have to get to the other side. What an interesting place to live. Alright, I won't be force marching around in here. Haha! Oh, I just realized I still have my energy crystal equipped. No wonder I was going so slow.
This is the spot.
Look at this cool picture. I love it.
This is the spot.
Lagdanar is standing next to you, his gaze scouring the valley floor for any signs of movement.
That rock over there with the markings is where we're supposed to meet.
True enough, a large rock stands alone out in the open, with crudely and mostly lewd images and writing etched onto its rugged surface. You signal for the Comitatus to stop and take a few fighters with you as Lagdanar and yourself head towards the marker stone. You are about a stone's throw from it when a woman in traveling clothes steps out from behind the rock and hails you.
That must be the guide. She fits the description we got back in Torzag's,
said Lagdanar. You approach the guide and greet her. Oh, she's got green skin. Hail, Reavers! The woman bows her head. She is a dragonkin with green scales and yellow eyes, but otherwise human features. I'm glad you finally arrived. I've been camped out here for quite some time. I gather that you are ready to approach the vault now. Lagdanar tells her that you are and introduces both of you. My name is Thessera. Our employer wanted to ensure the success of this venture, so I was hired to get you to the tectum. You have to admit that something is endearing about her decisiveness. She produces a pair of crystal goggles from her backpack and hangs them around her neck, and then nods towards the west. That is our heading, west-northwest. The Sarah joins you as you head back to the Comitatus. Using the opportunity, you ask Lagdanar what exactly you are looking for in the deadly Calaris.
Ah, that.
he says with a gap-toothed smile.
I suppose I could be a little more forthcoming, eh? I only know that this employer of ours wants to get his hands on a treasure that's inside a vault. Badly. This vault is a forgotten tectum, beneath the Colaris. Our job is to move in, secure the place, and get the treasure out. Anything else we find we keep. And that's on top of our payment. Sounds great, eh?
You can't help but think that the mercenary captain's enthusiasm stems from naivete. You ask him what kind of danger you might find in the tectum.
Nothing we can't handle,
he says with smashing his fist into his palm. Hopefully he is right. You signal to the comitatus to move out and leave the large stone behind. Thasara, the guide, joins your comitatus. All right, we're heading... That's not northwest. That's due west. All right, we have everything equipped. Let's make sure. Yep, crystal goggles. Good. We're ready to go. We do want to camp. Ah! I hate you. Buy them off? I didn't want to deal with orcs. This is annoying. All right. We don't need to mount anybody, so let's go ahead and fight. Maybe we'll get 10 people mounted just to be on the safe side in case the barricades don't work very well. And then, should we eliminate leaders? I think we should. Let's do it. We're fighting in the crystals, you psychos. I don't have time for this garbage. Oh, try to stun this guy at the back. Yes, 1 stun achieved. Go ahead and boost Nadir since she can attack multiple people. Ward. Don't push Gorgoro. Burn this dude. Melt his brain. Stop it. No, Javik, no. Ah, whew, thank God. Goodbye. Stop it. You absolute dicks. I need to get the immovable perk. Go back to the front. And then burn these 2 dudes. Nice crit on that guy. He got his ability triggered. He is still stunned though, so I think he'll still die this turn. Nice, nice. Go for the other guy in the front row. Jump back to the front. Bam! Nice crit. Wow. Try to kill him? We did. That guy didn't have any more movement, I guess. Let's boost Gorgoro this time so he can try to break some of these guys' armor. That would be good. Right, that guy did die like I predicted. Oh, resurrection. Not a second time, nerd. I guess we'll just hunker down. Break some armor. Burn this dude. And then maybe Javik can melt his brain. Nice dodge. Goodbye. Alright, that went pretty well. Let's see how the overall battle went. Not too bad. We don't really need to pursue them, so let's just let them go. Holy hell, I don't want all these people. Oh my god! There's too many people! What do I do with all these people? I can't feed all of them. I could kill them all. I don't want to release them either. Alright, fine. Heal. Alright, some people died, so at least we got some replacements. We still have way too many people in our thing. We'll ditch them in Lumen. Okay, so due west from here. How many nodes? 8 nodes in the area? Okay. I'm kind of thinking it would make sense to scout. We could force march it, but I don't think that's a good thing to do. We would like to focus on events, but we don't have any more resourcefulness to spend. So let's hope this works. Okay, it's up west, or up that way. I was gonna go down that way, so I'm actually pretty happy that we took the time to scout. All right, can we rest in the Colaris? Is that okay? I've never done that before. All right, it's fine. Got some healing too. Oh, it's crowded camps. Shoot. It's because we have too many people here. Oh, okay. At length, the Thesara manages to find the entrance to the Tectum in the monotonous crystal forest. The guide knows precisely which general area to look for. Then the exact location is given away by the damage done to the surrounding crystals. Someone must have harvested here briefly. Behind one of the broken crystal formations is a cave entrance shrouded in darkness. This is it, Thesara claims decisively. They found the gate leading to the lost Tectum when they started extracting the valuable crystal here. You time to decide if you want to descend into the underground shelter. The Reavers sure seem ready. Yeah, let's go. Prepare to descend into the Tectum. You need a team, of trusted companions and fighters if you wish to succeed. You prepare for the descent, only taking your companions with you while leaving the Comitatus to your crew. They set up in a defensive formation, and Logdanar confides that he will station his Reavers here, bringing only 5 of them down into the vaults. Thesara joins you at the damaged crumbling crystal formation that used to hide the entrance to the Tectum. You climb over the jagged, mutilated crystals and find yourself in a cavern still well lit due to the closeness of the Colaris. At the end of the chamber is an archway with double stone doors engraved with ancient symbols. One of the thick doors is broken and torn off of its hinges. Then there are the corpses. About a dozen men and women lie dead on the cave's sandy floor. Some of them are charred, but others show no sign of harm on the outside. Most of them are unarmed and look like prospectors or slaves. By the look of it, they have been here for quite a while. Perhaps these people, who were also responsible for extracting the crystal, broke down the doorway. But why and how did they perish? Ask the others what they think about the corpses. Logdanar just scratches his beard, but Thesara turns to you after briefly looking at the dead bodies. These must be the illegal prospectors who originally found the Tectum by accident. They entered the tunnels hoping to return with untold riches, but few survivors of the incident who were later caught by the authorities said that only arcane traps and a nameless death awaited them down there. Incidentally, it was thanks to this confession that our employer learned of the Tectum, and subsequently organized this venture.
Maybe they triggered the traps for us, eh? Logdanar gives you a weak smile before you all move towards the archway. Pass through the doorway and into the Tectum. Turn left or turn right. The air is shockingly cool inside the tunnel. You light some lanterns and stare at the walls in amazement. The skill that must have gone into carving all the symbols and decorative images is astounding. Unfortunately, you have no time to admire it further. The corridor is narrow and its ceiling is high. This, along with the corpses lying here and there, gives the impression that you are entering a tomb. What happened to the dwellers of the Tectum? These blokes kill them?
The mercenary captain inquires in a whisper. No, this place has been empty for ages, Thesara replies quietly. Whatever happened here must have wiped out the original inhabitants sometime after the calamity. The Tectum did not hold. The company follows the tunnel to a T-junction. Looking to the right, you can only see that the corridor goes on into darkness, empty and undisturbed. The stone floor to the left-hand tunnel, however, is covered in charred corpses. Which way? Asks Logdanar, eyes darting from side to side. I think we go left, because I kind of have the feeling that he's right, that the people have triggered all the traps. Or maybe we go right, because there's nothing over there. Let's go right. Nope, never mind. We should have gone left. The corridor looks completely untouched, and there's no sound apart from your breathing and shuffling. As you are about 30 feet in, some signs on the wall flare up with a malevolent orange light. Before you could react, the glyphs manifest 4 orbs of fire that begin to fly at you and your companions at amazing speed. Oh no, we killed somebody! The first one hit is a Reaver. He screams briefly before succumbing to a fiery death. Yet the orbs simply reform after he falls to the ground and seeks another target.
Get down!
Logdanar pushes you out of the way of an orb only for his arm to get burned. Several of your companions get scorched before Thesara leaps to the middle of the corridor and summons a fiery shield by raising her palm toward the ceiling and uttering words of power. The orbs dissipate when touching her barrier, and you are able to move past the glyphs. Unfortunately, most of your companions got badly burned. Whoops. Oh, damn. On Ren? We don't even fight with Ren. That's fine. You're okay, Ren. The corridor turns sharply, and you soon reach a large, echoing chamber with pillars on both sides. At the far end is an archway with breached stone doors, much like the one you used to enter the corridors, barely visible by the light of your lanterns. There is a corridor on the right, but it collapsed some time ago and is now blocked by sand and stone. Another one on the left leads into darkness. Corpses similar to the ones you have already come across lie here and there in the hall. Most of them are in and around the corridor on the left.
What now?
Logdenar whispers. The tectum should be ahead and below us. We should take the archway, Thesara answers. Yeah. Well, let's check out the corridor to the left. I want the loot. The corridor leads to a small chamber with more dead prospectors with charred bodies. The light of your lanterns reveals smooth stone walls decorated with images of people worshipping at temples and ziggurats. The chief mural depicts 12 robed priests reaching for a magnificent figure in kingly regalia who can only be the emperor himself. Beneath it is a small empty stone altar. Thesara busies herself with trying to read the ancient faded writing beneath the murals, while you and Logdenar poke around the chamber for anything valuable. Logdenar carefully pockets some valuables from the dead, while you find a large silver goblet. It is heavy and must be worth a fortune, especially with the orange jewel decorating it.
Nice catch, that one.
The mercenary captain grins when he sees your prize. Something tells you that he would love to take his share of the valuable loot. I mean, that's what we agreed to. It was 50-50, so I can't say no. Of course Garrick lost loyalty, you greedy bugger. Thesara mumbles to herself as she runs her delicate fingers along the ancient writing on the walls, its letters masterfully etched into the hard surface. Intriguing, she says to herself as she finally tears her gaze away from the wall. It appears that these people, the ones who built and maintained this tectum, were loyalist retainers of the Vagrus dynasty. When Logdenar's frown reveals his ignorance of the matter, Thesara elaborates. You know, the noble family that the emperor of your empire belongs to? He might have been alive for 2,000 years, but his family he hails from has produced many generations of aristocrats since his birth. This tectum here belongs to that family, and it was supposed to be some kind of hideout or secret family getaway. No tectum for the common folks, this one. She then points to the murals. But these murals clearly depict dogma related to the calamity, so it must have been painted after the cataclysm. Perhaps the Vagrus family or part of it moved here before the Elder Gods descended and turned this bunker into an underground shelter.
That's very interesting, love, but it doesn't say anything about the vault or our prize. Logdenar grins at her.
No, I suppose we have to rely on our resourcefulness in that matter, she replies coldly. There's nothing else to do here. Return to the Great Hall and walk through the archway. The company moves to the far end of the pillared hall that must be some sort of an antechamber to the tectum proper. The archway is decorated with carvings of noble heroes and firebrand politicians, but the door is ajar and the motifs are eroded to be barely recognizable. A set of spiral stairs leads down into a cave chasm beyond the gates, and you carefully descend into the darkness. Nobody breaks the silence as you make your way down into the bowels of the earth. The shuffling of feet, the clinking of armor, and the occasional drip of cave water are the only things you can hear for what seems like an eternity. At length, you reach the bottom of the stairs, and a short corridor leads the company into a chamber beyond. Enter the chamber. The chamber turns out to be a gigantic natural cavern deep under the sands of the desert. Magnificent stalactites hang from the darkness above. Your lanterns cannot reach the walls to the left and right, and in front, so you do not have an exact sense of scale. The roots of crystal formations of the Colaris above stick through the ceiling, and those emanate enough blue light so that you are certain that the hall must be enormous. After some further exploration, you manage to map out this central cavern that must have served as a community hub, some form of an underground plaza or town square. Dwellings and tunnels open from here and lead into the many hidden reaches of the tectum. Those are not natural and were instead built in the style of the antechamber and corridors above. A huge statue is erected in the middle of this plaza, depicting the emperor, as he's sitting on a marble throne. He is wearing a golden mask and holds a scepter in one hand while reaching toward the sky with the other, perhaps in an attempt to shield the empire from the wrath of the Elder Gods. Who knows? You also find a great many corpses here, all relatively recently perished, probably all belonging to the unfortunate prospectors who opened the tectum. What could have killed them down here? None of them display any wounds or damage other than rot. I'd like to take a few men to locate the vault, Thesara announces when the plaza is secured. The rest of you should not wander from here until we find it.
I'll go with you.
Logdenar nods and takes 2 Reavers with them.
The Vagrus is in charge until we return,
he tells his remaining mercenaries. This might take a while, Thesara tells you as they are about to leave through a large corridor. Rest, but be wary. And with that, they are gone. Decide what to do while Thesara and Logdenar are away. All right, let's pause the episode here. I think this is a great place to pause as we're going to do some random crap while they go explore. So, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus, the Riven Realms, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!